All right, our objective for today can solve and graph compound one variable inequalities. Tell your neighbor what concept we're still on, please. That is correct. One variable inequalities. That's why we don't need a Freire model. We already have the Freire model, right? It's already full on my other lesson. We also have the steps: simplify, isolate, plot, and check. So we don't need to write the steps either. Have we been doing all those four in the process? Yes. Now, does it make sense what we did in the equations, how it transferred now to inequalities? Yes, it's all muscle memory. You see what I'm saying? Yes, Mr. Q, we love these. All right, here we go. Look up, please. Writing utensils down. Stay focused, please. Pretty please. I don't want to lose some of you. Focus. Just to review what we've been doing. Here's an inequality. In order for me to solve this, I would draw my line down the inequality symbol. To leave x by itself, what do I need to do? Subtract 1 and subtract 1. Is that correct? That leaves me with what? Negative 6 less than x. Are we there so far? Then from there, I would write my solution set, and then I would graph it. Let me graph it. So here's 0. My dividing point is negative 6. Are we there so far? So is it an open or closed point? Open, or it does not include the point because it doesn't have an equal sign, so it's an open point. There it is. And I would test with 0. Negative 6 is negative 6 less than 0. Yeah, so that means everything on this side will be our solution, so I shade that way. So far, so good? Good review, yes? Let me show you another one. Say I gave you this one. Line down the inequality symbol. What do I need to do to leave x by itself? Subtract 1 from each side. This cancels. We're left with what? X is less than 1. Are we there so far? Focus, please. Focus. Here goes. So if I was to graph this also, here's 0. My dividing point is 1. It's an open point. I'm going to test 0 now. Is 0 less than 1? Yeah, so it's going to go to the left. Are we there so far? All right. So today we're going to crank it up a notch. Okay? Now we're done with the foundational stuff. Today we're going to look at something called compound inequalities. Now in language arts, you guys covered compound words. Is that correct? The word compound means to combine. So look what I'm going to do. Focus, please. Right now, how many inequalities do I have in front of us? 2. I'm going to combine those 2. Pay attention because I put some animation to make sure you understand what you're looking at. Look up. Here it goes. So I have 1. I'm going to bring this closer. And here's the other. And I'm going to bring that one closer. And now we have one inequality, which is a compound inequality. You guys see it? And do you guys see that the graphs overlap here? Yes. So this is what we call a compound inequality. How many inequalities in one? 2. So now we're just going to crank it up a notch. Yes? On your paper, copy example 1A, please. It says solve and graph the solutions of negative 5 less than, negative 5 is less than x plus 1 less than 2. Just copy it. I'm going to go over this one, the entire process, and then from there you'll copy at the end. Bless you. And then I'll give you one for you to do by yourself so you can practice it. Here it goes. Okay, writing utensils down, look up to the screen. Writing utensils down, please. Here it goes. The process is still the same. Here it goes. What was the first thing I asked you to do? Line down the inequality symbol. But wait a minute, now we have 2 of them. Okay, there it is. But the process is still the same. I need to leave x by itself. Focus, please. What do I need to do to leave x by itself? I subtract 1, but now I have 3 parts to the inequality, so I need to do that to all parts. This cancels. We're left with negative 6 less than x less than 1. Up to right there, I'm done. Everybody there so far? Next. Okay, right now you're just paying attention. Don't copy. You'll copy at the end. If you're worried about copying, you're not going to understand what I'm showing you. Please focus. The next step on the process, you need to show me the solution set. Solution set of all x's such that, what do I have here? Negative 6 less than x less than 1. I'm done with the solution set. Are we there so far? Next in the process, I need to graph my solution. Here goes the graph. Oh, it's a little bit crooked. There it is. Here's 0. Now this is where I need my different colors to graph so I understand what I'm looking at. So watch. I'm going to start with the first part of the compound. This part. I'm going to use red. What's my dividing point? -6. There it is. It's an open point. Now I need to check. Which number I'm going to use to check? 0. So instead of x, I'm going to write what? 0. I bring this down. Is -6 less than 0? Yes, that means I'm going to shade everything towards 0 because it did work. Are we there so far? Next, I'm going to graph now the second part of the compound, which is this. What is my dividing point? 1. Is it an open point? Yes. And I'm going to test again. Which number do you want me to use, 0 or -6? 0. So I'm going to use 0 less than 1. Is 0 less than 1? Yes, it does work. So that means I'm going to shade all the way that way. And what do you guys notice? Do you guys notice where both intersect? Well, guess what? This is my solution set between these two. Now, if I was to substitute any value in here, it would work. Let's see. Who can give me a number in between these two? Justin? -2. So if I was to substitute here, look up, please. -2. Is -6 less than -2? Is -2 less than 1? Yes, it does work. So, tell your neighbor what would happen if I were to substitute 5 in here. Tell your neighbor, please. That is correct. It will not work. Watch, let's try it. Here goes. I'm substituting 5 in here. Is -6 less than 5? Yes. But is 5 less than 1? No, so it doesn't work for the entire compound inequality. That's why this is what we call, look up, and inequality, because this is this and that. That's my inequality solution. Are we there? Copy that, please. All right, just to recap, look up, please. I was given a compound inequality. Are we there? I drew my 2 bars down for each inequality symbol, and I started isolating the x by using inverse operations. Yes? From there, I solved, and I ended up writing my solution set. Are we there so far? From there, I graphed it, but I did one part at a time with one color and then with the other, and I noticed that they intercepted. The interception is my solution set. Yes? And that's why these are called a what? And inequalities. Are we there so far? All right, so look at the points. If I was to give you one of these in the parte next week, here goes the points. 1 point for the work, 1 point for the solution, 1 point for the solution set, 1 point for the graph, and another point for the check. Did we check it here? Yes. So everything is done within the problem. So copy this one, please. Example 1B. Let's crank it up a notch. I'm going to zoom in. Now for this one, I'm going to have you do this. Now, listen to what I'm saying. You have all the practice already in your noodle. Trust your process. If you start hesitating, you're going to make mistakes. Does that make sense? Trust your process. Finish it through. Get my solution set and graph it, please. Ready? Go. Copy that and go. All right, let's see where we're at. Okay, here goes the process. I got this. I just want to make sure that you're confirming your work. Here it goes. Line down the inequality symbols. Yes? I need to leave x by itself. There's multiplication and there's subtraction. Where do I start? Subtraction. What is the inverse? Add 1, add 1, add 1 to all sides. We're left with 9 less than 3x less than or equal to 12. Hands that we got it to right there. Okay? Next, is x by itself? No, we have the 3 multiplying. What is the inverse? divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. We end up with 3 less than x less than or equal to 4. Hands if you got up to right there. From there, what is the next thing? Solution set. X such that 3 less than x less than or equal to 4. Hands if you got that. Very good. Here goes the last part. Our graph. Here it goes. We got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to label 3 and 4 for right now. And I'm going to start with the first part. I'm going to use one color. It's an open point. There it is. And I'm going to test with 0. Let's see. Is 3 less than 0? No, it doesn't work. So my solution is the opposite way, which is that way. Are we there so far? All right. Next, I'm going to switch to blue, and I'm going to graph this one. Does it include the 4? Yes, because it has an equal sign, so it's a solid point. Make sure you double check that, please. And I'm going to test with 0 again. Is 0 less than or equal to 4? Yes, so I'm going to shade in the direction of 0. It did work. But where does it overlap? Between what numbers? Everyone. Between 3 and 4. That means my solution is here. That's where my and is at. Right there. So question. What number can I substitute that would be a solution? Part of the solution set. Share with your neighbor. What would be a number part of the solution set? How about 3.1? How about 3.009? How about 3.5? 3.75? 3.23? 3.98? How about, pay attention to this one, how about 3? Tell your neighbor why not. Not 3 because it's not included. That's why it's an open point. How about 4? Yes, because it is included. It's a solid point. Everybody get that? Yes? So let's see. Look up. Did we get the work? Yes. Solution. Solution set. Graph and the check. Those are 5 points. You got that? Hands if you got that by yourself. Very good. All right. Let's move on. Let's crank it up a notch. Copy this one. Example 2A. It reads 8 plus t greater than or equal to 7, or 8 plus t less than 2. You're like, Mr. Q, this looks weird. I know. Copy it first. We're going to go over this one together. Okay? All right, here we go. For these, whenever you get to these that are or inequalities, notice that this one is not and, this one is what? Or. Okay? When you get to these, you do one at a time. Let's start with this one. I'm going to use the color red. Line down the inequality symbol. To leave t by itself, what do I do, everyone? Subtract 8. Subtract 8. So I'm left with t is greater than or equal to -1. Then you're going to write or. Now I'm going to blue. Line down the inequality symbol on the other one. What do I do to solve for t? -8 minus 8. T is less than -6. Are we there so far? Okay. Let's write our solution set. Solution set of t such that, this is my solution, right? So I'm going to write t greater than or equal to -1, or t less than -6. Are we there so far? Okay. Next, our graph. Underneath that, let's do our graph. Here's 0. And I'm going to start with the left side. What's my dividing point? -1. Does it include the point? Yes, it's got an equal sign. Here it is, the equal sign, so it's a solid point. Solid point. Make sure you make it visible. And I'm going to test it with what number? 0. Let's see. Is 0 greater than or equal to -1? Yes, so I'm going to shade that way. Okay. Now I go to blue. I'm going to do the other side. -6. Does it include -6?
No.
No, it doesn't have an equal sign, so it's an open point. All right. What number do I use to check? I'm going to use 0. Is 0 less than -6? No, that doesn't work. So therefore, instead of shading towards 0, I'm going to go the opposite way in that direction. What do you guys notice? They don't intersect. That's why, check this out, the solution for this inequality, compound inequality, is this or that. Does that make sense? Let's go from the corner. So, okay, look up, guys. The question was, Ivan said, what's the solution? Let's see. Jessica, can you give me one number that would be the solution? Let's see. Is -5 in the shading? No. -8. Is -8 part of the shading? Yes. What other number would be the solution? Everyone. How about 23? Will that work? Yes. All right. So your home play for tonight, we'll stop right there. Your home play is play sheet. What's the play sheet? 3.6 is over here. Grab one on your way out. Play sheet 3.6. Grab one on your way out. I'm going to upload the video if you need that to revisit the lesson. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your home play. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.